Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. This is T-Bun here, logging in with another live stream for the 23rd of January 2024. Where's the month gone? Seriously, where has it gone? I'm not joking, it just seems to disappear. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, it just feels like time's just evaporates in front of my eyes. It's been very, very wet, windy and cold in the UK over the weekend with some pretty nasty gales, it has to be said. So I'm here to keep you warm, keep you company. We are back in the valley again. In fact, we're at Harbour in Town at the moment. The episode has been called A Big Shunt. No, it has nothing to do with collisions, hopefully. But I think what we shall do is we shall get into the game and get on with it, shall we? Okay, so here we are in the valley. The news are back. What are you talking about? Anyway, we've got some regulars in the chat. Hello to Wolfgang, hello to Cuba, and also hello, Mom. She's waving. Yeah, hello, Mom. She's waving. So, as you can see, we have a D2 and a slug ready to go. And we have got a lot of jobs to do in the Harbour and Town. It's early morning. It's about 7 a.m. Valley time. It's just gone 7:30 UK time. So I hope you're well, and I hope you've had a good couple of weeks. I didn't stream last week. Unfortunately, I was a little under the weather. Oh. But I'm fine now. I'm back into it. And I've had quite a busy time of it over the past couple of weeks, actually. And we shall talk about that as the stream progresses. I've also managed to sort out a proper view for remote dispatch, which I'll show you in a moment. So we'll be using that quite extensively today. I did manage to catch Wolfgang's stream earlier. He was doing some flights around the Canaries, I believe. So that was good to see. Right, we have a lot of jobs on the table. You can see there's loads of shunts to do. All of these. So we're going to get all of those done. And then, once we've done all that, we are going to put a big train together. Very big train. So, in essence, I'm going to try and take every possible job out of the harbour. I don't care about time bonuses. I just care about the length of the train. So, we'll start top left with this one. 420 tons. Okay, so the job number is SL83. Okay, let me just make a quick note of that. And I am going to go to my second view. Welcome to Remote Dispatch. So what I'm going to do now is I know it's SL83. I am going to zoom out and take a look, see where it is. Oh, SL83. So this is E. Okay, so it's not in E yard. It won't be in F yard because that is going to be. That's passenger. There it is. No, it isn't. SL83. Okay, so load and prepare a train with imported new cars. So this is a loading job. Okay, that's fine. So we can already go to, well, potentially we could go to G2S, but I'm actually going to do it by, I am going to do it legitimately. Hang on. Let's get back in the game. But that's the first part of it. We know part of it is in G2S. Okay, let's verify the order, and the clock starts. Quite literally. So let's run over to the train. But the main news for remote dispatch, apart from finding jobs, is obviously that changing points. Now this is about 400 tons. Potentially a DE2 could do that on its own, but I'll use a slug. Why not? So I hope everyone is well in chat. I hope people in the UK weren't blown over or something. I had some rather entertaining times over the weekend doing some virtual air traffic control, including a point on Manchester where the tower controller gets in touch with me and says, there's a light aircraft that wants to do circuits. So in other words, basically go around the airport and then basically do touch and goes and landings. I'm thinking, in 30 knot gales, good luck. I don't know why he contacted me, because if it's a visual aircraft, it doesn't really make any difference, because to me, asshole. The only thing it makes difference to me is if I was controlling the actual aerodrome itself, which I wasn't, because I had controllers underneath me. So anyway. Bom, 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 bom. Okay, let's have a look at the job. Right, it is telling me to start at G2S. Perfect. Okay, so that's fine. So what I can do now is I can actually do all of the switches for G2S. Right, okay. Let me just log back into my tablet. So I can do the switching for G2S. Hang on. Please work. Right, okay. So I'm going to change all the points for G2S. So here we go. So this one. And this one. Okay, we need to go straight through in order to get at it, because it's there. Yeah, maybe he did want to warn me if he might fly into the tower. Oh, good grief. But yeah, we certainly had some entertaining times on Manchester, it has to be said. I was on approach at the time. So, yep, that's all set now. So I can go back into the game, start the engines. Come on. Come on. There we go. That's good. Right, brakes off. I'm going to check the brake is also off on the slug. Yes, it is. Because I get the feeling this job, because we're loading it, it might potentially get a little bit on the heavy side anyway. So it's not a bad thing, what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, so lights front would be... If I do this, lights front are going to be there, lights rear is going to be there. And then I'm going to go into reverse. Okay, and take a look outside. Here we go. So this will be the first move of the night. What else I've been doing? Well, last stream, as you may know, I actually bought a steering wheel and pedals. And I've been slowly getting into sim racing. I've joined an organisation called Low Fuel Motorsport. In essence, it's a bit like doing iRacing, but you don't have to pay for it. So you get things like safety ratings, and you get an ELO rating, even though it's not chess. But apparently it works in a very similar way. I haven't actually raced for them yet. At the moment, I'm doing some practice. I've been going around in an MX-5, and I'm currently practicing Laguna Seca with the infamous corkscrew. I did do an online race recently, and I did record it. I'm going to see how well the recording turns out. If it's decent enough, then I'll put it on the channel. So Nestia said he was doing flight radar this autumn, and there was an aircraft at Manchester that did 5 landing attempts. Doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Also, you might notice that the perspective might be a little bit different when it comes to the webcam. That's because I've actually raised my monitors by about 2 inches. And it's mainly because what I was noticing, I was getting a bit of a crick in my neck for a start. But also, I've been reading up a lot on forums to do with field of view and all that kind of stuff. And particularly, which is really important when you're doing things like simulation, like racing and that kind of stuff. In order to get the speed accurate and the actual view accurate as if it would be in real life. Okay, let's see how we're doing. 15 kilometers an hour at the moment, so just under 10 miles an hour, that's fine. The other thing I've been doing is I've started doing some flying as well on Flight Sim and on VATSIM, also live on VATSIM as well. Flight Sim, I've done some light aircraft stuff as well, just to get a feel of the controls. I have to say, flying in Flight Sim, from my memory of flying in Flight Sim 10 to actually flying in Flight Sim 2020, it's chalk and cheese. The flight dynamics, I think, are better modelled within Flight Sim 2020. The racing game I'm in at the moment is Assetto Corsa, which, yeah, that's interesting. It took me a while to get the force feedback settings right, so it would actually mimic the car properly, but I think I'm happy with it. There's only a couple of things I might need to tweak, like the ABS setting and perhaps the road feel and that kind of stuff. So that gives you an idea. But I've done some light aircraft stuff, and I've done kind of the, the flight training stuff. Although you have to be incredibly accurate when it comes to that, and it's going on about, climb to 7,000 feet at a speed of 75 knots, and you have to get there by a certain point. I'm thinking, is that really realistic in a VFR aircraft? But also, I've flown from my home airport as well, Birmingham, and I have a subscription to Navigraph, which means I have VFR charts, which are very useful. Because when you fly visually, what you tend to do is you're looking out of the window about 80% of the time. So what you're looking for is visual reference points. You'll be looking for major roads. You'll be looking for landmarks, those sorts of things. So I managed to follow one of the motorways that is quite close to Birmingham Airport. I followed it south, and I actually flew over my house, which was great. Once I flew over my house, I went back into the centre of Birmingham. And then I went and did basically I did a touch and go and then a full stop. Perfect. And it was great. Good fun. But then I'm tackling the Airbus 320 for my airline. So I'm part of Virtual Airline. And I've done 2 flights for them so far. The first flight I did was from London Heathrow to Manchester, which is a very common flight for British Airways to do, believe it or not. I think it's probably the shortest flight they do. So I did the first one, and one of the things about the Phoenix A320, it's a very complicated aircraft. It's really well simulated. It's brilliant. But as I said, it is a complicated piece of equipment. So what you tend to find is it takes quite some time to actually set it up and go through all the procedures, particularly if you start from cold and dark. But I don't think the monitoring software picked up that I had my parking brake on, so it thought I was taxiing for ages when I wasn't. I managed to get it down at Manchester Airport on the second attempt. First attempt I went round. It was a bit of a heavy landing though. It was about 700 feet per minute, but I got it down. That was the main thing. So that was the first flight. Now the second flight, that was a bit of an adventure. This was last Saturday. So the second flight I did, I thought, right, I'll do the return flight, which is Manchester to basically Manchester back to Heathrow, which is fair enough. Just release the brakes here. And Manchester was having an event, which happens on the virtual traffic network. You get events. So Manchester was dealing with a lot of traffic going from between Manchester and Lyon. But it meant that it was fully staffed, so you had every possible position that basically had an air traffic controller, well, virtual air traffic controller like me. So there I am on the ground. I'm going through the procedures and making sure I've got the right charts and all this kind of jazz, which is all well and good. So I'm doing all that, and then eventually I call up the delivery, and I was on a Shuttle 3 X-ray. That was the call sign. So I got in touch with them, and it was the call was something like Manchester delivery, Shuttle 3 X-ray, information hotel, Airbus 320, stand 54, request IFR clearance to Manchester. So I was given my clearance, and I read back, including the transponder code. At which point I said, okay, well, we're ready for push. Basically, we're ready for push and start. At which point, the answer came back, stand by, there's a delay of 10 minutes just to push. That gives you some idea. It was more like 25 minutes before I could push and start. So, okay, fine. So eventually, I got my push and start, which is fine. No problem. So I'm pushing back from the stand. And I start up the engines. And the next thing you know, there's a warning message on the ECAM. I'm thinking, what the heck's this? What's going on now? And the ECOM's basically saying that there's an issue to do with the engine 2 reverse thrust being open in comparison to engine 1. I'm thinking, oh no. So there I am, sitting on the taxiway, and on a very busy airport, trying to sort this problem out. Eventually, I managed to do it by recalibrating my throttle. Now, my throttle doesn't control the engines separately. So why there was a mismatch, I don't know. So that was sorted out. Next thing, I thought, right, okay. Let me check my flight controls. So, checking my flight controls, I went, right, okay. Elevators, yes. Aileron, yes. Rudders, no. Oh, damn it. What I've done recently is the pedals that came with my racing wheel, I've actually managed to use software so I can use them as rudder pedals. Brilliant. I hadn't started the software up. Next thing you know, the ground's getting a bit... Oh... Wrong coupling again. I was distracted. I'm telling a story. Give me a break. Right. Anyway. Yeah, the controllers basically then gets in touch with me. Shuttle 3 X-ray, you ready to taxi? At which point I said, we're having flight control problems, sir. Shuttle 3 X-ray, give us about 5 minutes. At which point he said to me, well, you need to disconnect from VATSIM. Okay, fine. So I disconnected from VATSIM, sorted my rudder pedals out, reconnected in about 5 minutes' time. Now, while all this is happening, and because of obviously the delays as well that I'm having at the airport, I was burning fuel. Now, I planned the flight out in SimBrief, which also includes the reserve fuel as well. You have to, legally, on a commercial aircraft, you have to carry 30 minutes reserve fuel, which I think on an Airbus is about 1,000 kilos, roughly. Which I'm doing. Which, okay, fine. But it's burning fuel while I'm on the ground. Eventually, I get taxied out, and I take off, and then I put it on autopilot and everything else, and I'm making sure my procedures are correct. And then I'm starting my approach into Heathrow. Now, Heathrow at the time did not have an approach controller; they had a tower controller. That was it. So I'm coming into Heathrow, and then I look at the fuel, and I go, slight problem. I had about 1,100 kilos of fuel. So by the time I got in touch with the tower controller, and by the time there was actually room on frequency, I had to declare an emergency. So the first call that tower got was, Mayday, 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 Shuttle 3 X-ray, low fuel. He must have loved me. Which one the tower controller said, well, I can see you coming into Heathrow Airport, sir. There's not much I can do about it. I'm thinking, oh, thanks very much. Apart from, I don't know, keep the runway clear. I mean, you're still landing traffic on 27 left. Anyway, I thought, okay, fine. So I'm coming in. Now, there's a 10-knot crosswind, 90 degrees to the runway. So I'm coming in. I establish. I get myself on final. The approach is really nice. I get to the decision at height, which is 200 feet above ground. And I clicked off the autopilot at about 1,000, maybe 1,500 feet. I'm coming in beautifully, and then all of a sudden I must have got hit by a crosswind or whatever, because by about 100 feet The pre-approach wasn't stabilised. I'm thinking, oh no. So at which point, shuttle 3 X-ray going round. So I had to, you know, had to increase thrust. Started climbing out. I'm thinking, this is not going well. And as I'm climbing out, the next thing you know, bing! Engine 2 fail. It's like, ugh, because the fuel's that low. So now I'm on one engine. Great. I'm on one engine with a 10 knot crosswind. Brilliant. So I'm having to basically vector myself around for the approach. And I said to the tower controller, I said, look, I know you can't give me vectors, but can you give me an idea when I'm about 10 miles away from the field? Which, bless him, he did. But then, all of a sudden, there's an announcement from the tower controller. All stations, Heathrow Tower is now closing. Monitor Unicom 122.8. It's like, oh, for Pete's sake. So the tower controller's gone. There was no air traffic control on VATSIM at that point. You're on Unicom. It's down to you, and it's just pilots coordinating with each other. So I'm coming in for the approach, and also I get a T-class TCAS warning as well. I'm thinking no. So I come in on the approach. I'm thinking I've just got to land it now. I don't care. I've just got to land the thing. So I'm coming in. I missed the landing marker, and I landed about maybe 2/3 to halfway down the runway. At which point I'm thinking I've got to stop this thing, and instinctively I went for reverse thrust. The problem is I'm on one engine, so when you put it on reverse thrust, of course that caused the aircraft to veer left. So the next thing you know, it's on the grass and stops just short of taxiway Sierra at Heathrow. I'm thinking, oh great. So I call up on Unicom. I tell them that the frequency's clear, and I get some congratulations from the pilots and everything else. And then I go and file the flight plan. And of course, the flight plan system has already picked up in manual review. It took you a long time to taxi. Okay, so I explained everything, what was going on, and when it was manually reviewed, they came back to say, you didn't tell us that you had an excursion off the runway. We are rejecting your flight plan as it's below the standard that's expected of the virtual airline. I thought, oh, great. So, that was a fun one. In fact, by the time I switched the engines off, I had 90 kilograms of fuel left. In a jet aircraft, that's fumes practically. I was lucky to get it down. So I think I'm going to be doing some IFR circuits at some point before I do my world tour. Oh dear. Anyway, cheers fellas. Okay, where's the next job? Let's have a look. Because there's 3 of them. G2S, D1S now. Here's the next bit. Okay, so I am going to take a look on the dispatcher. D1S. Okay, I'm going to need to turn this train around. Also, it'd be quite nice to have the loco at the head of the train. So yeah, I've had some fun times. Light aircraft with a 25 knot crosswind, I bet. I mean, I'm coming back to flight simulation. I'm also coming back to air traffic control. You may notice that the air traffic control video has disappeared. That's for 2 reasons. First of all, it was very hard to read the tags of the aircraft on screen. Even on a big television, I had to look at it on a 50-inch 4K. No. But secondly, my standard of controlling was... it could have been better. Let's put it that way. Which has also been picked up by VATSIM UK. So I'm currently going through refresher training at the moment, because you have to consider that I was away from controlling for over 5 years or so, and a lot's changed. So I'm currently going through refresher training at the moment. I'm still allowed to control all the other aerodromes in the UK apart from Heathrow. So Heathrow, you have to have a special validation, almost like a special license for it. So that's what's been decided. And to be fair to the training department, I don't mind that at all. I really don't mind. So I'm going through refresher training. I'm treating it almost as if I'm a complete novice, which I think is sensible. Wow, it's a foggy one today. But certainly with the sim racing, I've had some interesting experiences. Although I did do one race, and I swear, some of the other drivers, they just seem to want to crash into you. Thought, why? I didn't do anything wrong. You know, here's me practicing racecraft, and for whatever reason, they just crash into you anyway. No, that's not racing. Thank you very much. What the heck are you doing? It is in my estimation, but okay, if you say so. I don't know why I did that. Thank you. Okay. Reverse, please. Brakes. Okay, so D1S. Alright, so while this is shifting back, again, remote dispatch. So I can come back here. And I can look at this and go, right, D. Okay, so D1S is here. Okay, that's set correctly. Watch my short landing in Bordeaux, 100 feet over the runway, and I couldn't see it. Yeah, I've had a similar experience. I think this was back in like Flight Sim 2004, and I was flying into Chicago, and it was snow, freezing fog, and I was on instrument landing approach, and I could hear the ground proximity counting down. And it was quite something. It was like 50, 40, 30. Oh, there's the runway. So, yeah, I can relate to that. Ah, dear. I can definitely relate to that. But it's all good fun. So yesterday I did some controlling at my home airport, which is Birmingham Radar, or Birmingham Approach. Call sign's Birmingham Radar. And I actually had, for a while, I had tower, I had ground, and I had delivery underneath me. And then ground, basically two of them left, and I had ground. So I had control of the runways as well. And just before the end of the session, I had about... Oh yeah, just before the end of the session, ground logged off, so basically I was controlling the entire airport. I had about eight pilots on frequency. I had 5 that I needed to sequence on the landing. It was fun! Oh dear. That's a good way to get your heart pumping. Will there be other streams of air traffic control? Yes. All I will say is Not yet. Let me go through the refresher process. Let me get everything up to proper standard, and then I will do it. I think there's the answer. I think that's fair. All right, then. Doing 20 now? Wow. That's fairly quick. Cuba's quiet. Are you okay? Meanwhile, I've seen Rusty catch up with my VATSIM streams. I was trying to do one on Friday on Manchester, and technically it just wasn't working. One of the reasons why I came upstairs today, and I sat down about an hour before streaming and just went through the checklist like a good boy. So it's been good. Meanwhile, Friday, I'm going to London. Ooh, I've booked train tickets to go to London. Why? Because I'm meeting a young lady. You could, yes, you want to practice if you're ever going to use VATSIM. Yeah, so can certainly do that. That's not a problem. We can certainly do that at some point. Wolfgang, when you transition to jets, let me know. Particularly an Airbus 320, because I will be doing a world tour on with a 320. So my first flight to do, because it's basically it's a 19-leg journey. My first flight to do was going to be from London Heathrow to Svalbard, which is an island off the coast of Norway. Apparently, it's the most northerly commercial runway in the world. So that could be interesting. And depending on which way I'm coming in, it depends on how steep I'm coming in, because on one of the runways, it's a 6-degree glide slope. That means you're almost crash landing. As you're following it in. London City's pretty steep as well if you ever do that. So that should be a fun one. I think that's my first leg. I can't remember what the others are. I wonder if a cube has disappeared. So we've got 3 pickups. We'll probably have to load at D, the loading dock on the D section of the yard, I would imagine. So when I said big shunt, I meant it. In other words, I'm doing a lot of shunting. So I'm shunty McShunt today. Ah! You did a perfect landing on your first attempt at London City. You know, I find that hard to believe. Your landings seem okay. It's your approaches. Oh my word. Although you were definitely well off centre line by the time you landed you did your last landing today, has to be said. You were practically on the glass. Just checking if this is coming in the right way. Oh, that's on D3. Oh, that's wrong. No. No, 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 no. No. I thought something was wrong. Hold on. Please hold. Meanwhile, I've been speaking to D at DMW Gaming. He's fine. He's taking a bit more of a back seat with his channel, which I don't blame him. I think he's going to treat it more as a hobby, which pretty much is what I'm doing at the moment. It would be nice to get up to 500 subscribers, though, at some point and get the actual necessary watch time and everything else and then progress the channel a little bit further forward. That would be cool. But, yeah, I'm taking a bit more of a relaxed attitude towards it than I had maybe when I started back in May. Also, you may have noticed I've had a bit of a trim. It was getting to the point where I could probably audition as Father Christmas, and I thought, no, I'm not having that. Also, there's way too much grey in my beard when it gets that long. That's better. I suppose, as long as I get it on the ground, what is the problem? I suppose, but it's one of those things where you're much better off having a stabilised approach. As I've always said to you, a good landing starts with a good approach. Although that was weird when you were flying from one island to the other and the aircraft's kind of doing this. I think, why is it snaking about like that? Thinking, is that a simulation thing? Maybe. Although, speaking of Flight Sim, I know there's going to be an announcement in a couple of months about Flight Sim 24. Which makes me think, okay, is anything going to be compatible with it? I mean, there are people that have invested money into add-on aircraft like me. You know, that Phoenix Sim A320, it's incredibly detailed. It's every button, every knob, every switch, every dial. It connects to SimBrief. If you have a Navigraph account, you can also bring up the navigation charts on your electronic flight bag. So your electronic flight bag is basically a tablet. That's what it is, with some specialised applications. Nice! So you did have a good approach at one point. Cool. Oh, that was a bit of a punterino. Hold on. Brakes, please. That was a bit fast. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Ah. In fact, that was way too fast. Let me get the remote. Jump up here. The one thing about sim racing is that I've also been getting into a lot of different sim racing channels, which meant I've watched some Jimmy Broadbent. Although the only thing is, if you've subscribed to Jimmy Broadbent, YouTube just goes, "Oh, you like Jimmy Broadbent, do you? Great. We're gonna suggest every video he's ever done and nothing else." Like, what? Come on, give me a break, guys. I do want to watch other things. It's just a thought. Okay, couple. Yeah. Yes, please. Thank you. It's a function in the game. I'm taking it. Right. Okay, where is the next one? D5S. Okay, let's go forward then. Oh, no. It's all right. I'm thinking forwards, but the train's the wrong way around, isn't it? Sorry, the loco and the slug. Ah, darn it. Slow down. Into reverse then. That's going to confuse the living daylights out of me for a bit. The one thing I have found by doing all these different streams, I've certainly gained in confidence. To me now, it's almost my sort of chill out and relax time, which I'm sharing with other people, which is fantastic. And I think that's great. Meanwhile, I had kind of a compliment given to me yesterday. So the ground controller, so the guy who was on ground, is in his teens. I think he's something like 15 or 16 years old. And when he was trying to guess my age, and when I told him, he said I sounded about 38. I think, really? Wow, if I look 38 as well, I'm on a winner here, Trig. Because when I told him I passed my controller's exam 16 years ago, he said, what? Yeah, 16 years ago. He says, how old are you? Oh, dear. All right, that should be good enough. Brakes on, please. Right, D5S. And the crowd say ball. Selector. Okay, point. Yeah, that's done. And this is why remote dispatch is so good. Just to be able to go, click, done. To me, I think it adds a little bit more immersion and a bit more realism to a certain degree. I mean, I have actually played this on surround triple monitor before now. That's interesting. Although, I'd have to get the field of view correct. Because I think it's a little bit too zoomed out at the moment for playing on triple screen. It's okay on single screen. I can kind of deal with it. The lady you're going to meet, is she a psychiatrist? No, she isn't. No, she isn't. She's a tour guide in London. She's a tour guide in London. She's actually a refugee from Ukraine, from the war. So, yeah, could be interesting. And apparently we're going to the Sherlock Holmes Museum on Baker Street. Cue Jerry Rafferty. Yes, I've got the saxophone in my head now. Oh dear. Let's come in a little bit slower, shall we? That's looking better. Beautiful. Hold on. Oh no, there's a job in the middle. Oh dear. And I thought you were going to get your head checked. Oh, trust me, I'm certifiable anyway. Considering the mental health issues I've got. Although I know the unemployment side of the benefit system have gone, okay, you're not fit enough to work. But kind of the disability side of the of the benefit system has gone, yes, you are. So I've got to appeal. And get that sorted out. So I need to shift this job out of the way. In order to get to the job I need. Okay then, let's move up. Do a bit of Mario. Did a bit of Mario. Boy. Boom. 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 At some point, I should do an arrangement for that on trombone and record it and perhaps put it. I don't know if I put it on a gaming channel or whether I actually put it on a separate channel. I think a separate channel would make more sense. Which I'll probably call T-Bone's Music. Oh, that's the other thing I'm having to do is create an alias on sim racing when it comes to a name. So I'm thinking either Thomas Bone, at which point it literally comes up as T-Bone on the leaderboard, Or I'm thinking maybe Thomas Walker, which is kind of close to my actual name. Because I've already got crew chief, and it can announce names, and then one of the ones it doesn't have is T-Bone, which is annoying. But hey, so yeah, it basically goes, okay, Tom, your last lap was 1:46.7. You are 2.3 seconds off the pace. Thinking, great, okay. Now I need a siding that I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that stuff in. That'll do. Right, so forwards, please. Train brake. And close to your driving speed. Well, in game, I'm definitely off the pace. I'm about midfield at the moment when it comes to the races I've competed in. Originally, I was towards the back. I was, out of like 24 cars, I was around 18th. But I'm roughly about a midfield driver at the moment. But I'll tell you something, it's a workout with force feedback and everything else. You definitely notice when you've done, yeah, Walker. It's close to my, cool. It's close to my surname, my actual surname. So yeah, okay, I'll go for Tom Walker then. Because at the end of the day, yes, I could use my real name, but there is such thing as anonymity. The thing is that there are people on the internet that want to, that for whatever reason, want to basically do harm to you, and I'm not willing to expose myself that way. I value my privacy. You might find out my first name at some point. That's fine, albeit it's a very rare. It's very unusual. But the translation of my name is Tom or Thomas. So that's close enough. No, it's one of the sad facts of life, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't blame you, Wolf. I really don't blame you. I mean, fine, if I flew to Stockholm and we got to know each other, and obviously we'd get to know our real names and all that kind of stuff, but the thing is, I wouldn't advertise them. I certainly wouldn't advertise it to everybody else. Certainly not. How am I doing mentally? Still struggling is the best way I can put it. I do have my times when my anxiety definitely gets the better of me. The only one in Sweden with your name. Yeah, then you know what it feels like to have an unusual name. You see, I wouldn't mind revealing my name if it was something common like Dave or Steve or something like that, because it's a lot harder to track down. There it is, 83. Good. Okay, in that case, brake on. But it is an unusual name. This will give you some idea. So at one point, I did some agency work, and I was working for British Telecom. Okay? And there's 100,000 employees at British Telecom. I was the only one with my first name. The only one in a company of 100,000. That gives you an idea. Which means the chances of you guessing it correctly are remote. So don't even bother. The combination of your first name and surname is the only one. Well, my surname is quite common. It's my first name that isn't. And it was mainly down to the fact that my father's name was a common name, and he hated having a common name. Because my father was a David or a Dave. And he hated it. Because he used to work for... Well, when he started work, which was in the 60s, it was called British Motor Corporation, which then became British Lane and then became Austin Rover. And he retired after 38 years working in the steel stores, which means he could tell you a lot about different grades of steel and what they were used for and everything else. So, gives you an idea. Brakes are taking longer to release now. Right, so let's shove that out of the way. Although I do need to get to the back of the train, don't I? Door! Oh, you're the other way around, Wolf. Okay, fair enough. Okay, there it is. Thank you. Throttle off. Okay, back we go to get the other bits of 83. A little bit more speed, I think. So in essence, tonight is going to be a lot of yard work. Huge amount of yard work. Mainly because we've gotten to the stage in the game where we've unlocked the DE6 and we're going to be putting very long trains together. And quite a few of those trains are going to multiple destinations on the map. As what can I say? I like to run a big train. That's what I've been watching. I'm in Elementary Season 2 now. Really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I saw one to do... The last one I saw was to do with the ballerina. Who was killed. And it was really good. Wolf's just put, too bad I didn't know you 2 years ago. I could have saved the money and on a hotel room when I was in Birmingham. Yeah, absolutely. You could have done. You could have slept on the sofa. With all due respect, I don't think you want to share a bed with me. And I don't think you want to share a bed with my mother either. I think that might be a bit weird. Oh, I'm glad you've been to our fair city. What did you make of it, Wolf? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so I've picked that one up. What's the next one? Where's the next pickup? D7. Right. Okay. So we need to take the whole lot now to D7L. That's fine. Load it and then take it over to another siding for departure. It's relatively straightforward. Is it just that... No, there's more. Okay, let me just go... Alley-oop. Oh, this is not dangerous at all. Imagine trying to do this in real life. So yes, I am meeting a young lady and it's been a while since I've been on a date. It's been a long time. Mind you, this one's been a long time coming. I've been speaking to this woman for about 6 months, something like that, and trying to arrange it, and she keeps going, I'm busy. And eventually she's gone, oh, I'm free this week. Fantastic. So I booked the tickets. She was talking about meeting at London Waterloo. So I booked the tickets to London Waterloo, and then she says, can we meet at the museum instead? I'm thinking, you do realise these tickets are non-refundable? Thanks. So the ticket from London Euston to London Waterloo, it's, you know, oh well. But in essence, I've booked it, so I'm spending most of the day down there. And it's a bit of a challenge mentally as well to actually go out and go to a really major city like that. I mean, I must admit, hands up, I am not a great fan of London. And it's mainly because for me, it's way too busy. The people don't seem very friendly, and they just seem to keep themselves to themselves. And they're all looking down, most of them sort of heads buried in mobile phones and things like that. And I'm thinking, no thanks. No thanks. At least in my home city, it's a little bit more. There's a little bit more friendliness there. Although if I was to move anywhere, I would move to probably Bromsgrove or Warwick. In fact, when I went out, I had a date with a woman who lived in Warwick, and I went to meet up with her, and I have to say, Warwick's lovely. Warwick's lovely, and the people there are so friendly. It was great. I'm thinking, oh man, this is wonderful. I felt really at home in a place like that. Okay, stop. In terms of channel plans, which is something I talked about, my main plan, at least in my mind, you travel to London 2 weeks in a row in a month, 2 different trips. Oh, okay. Let me know when you're coming into London, then I'll see where we can meet up. Either that or take the train up to Brum. Could meet at the World's End pub. I think it's on Oxford Street. But this will definitely be a challenge when it comes to my nerves. Because if my nerves hold up on this, it's a good sign. Because there are times when, for example, my mother asked me to drop her somewhere a couple of days ago. Couldn't face it. Mental health is a real pain. Has to be said. One of the daughter, one with the country music festival. Okay, fair enough. For me, I find there's country music and there's country music. You know, there's the stuff that's where it sounds like somebody's whining when they're singing, which I can't stand. And there's other stuff that's reasonable, like the stuff that you shared with me. I think I'm definitely more of a jazz and classical person when it comes to music, on the whole. Although I must admit, I haven't practiced in a long time. I need to get back into practice, and I need to find a band to play with weekly. So, in essence, I suppose what you could say is I'm slowly rebuilding my life. That is what I need to do. I think it's a long road to recover. The other thing is, I need to lose my Christmas weight. I gained about 4 pounds over Christmas, which is around 2 kilos. What can I say? I have a bit of a sweet tooth. And at some point, I need to pluck up the courage to go to the dentist. My last experience of going to the dentist was less than ideal. To give you an idea, I went to this dentist and they had a look at my teeth and I said, okay, you need to give your teeth a really good clean. Thinking, okay, so literally under the gum line and everything else. Yeah, I understand that, Wolf. You need to have a life to rebuild first. Yeah, I can understand that. But the main thing is at least you're working, and at least you're able to work. So that's a big one. That's a, that's a big step, definitely. I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's getting back into a line of work at some point. But the nice thing is because the unemployment people are very much, oh, you can't work at the moment. At least when it comes to actually getting to a point where I'm saying, okay, I'm going back to work. It's down to me. I haven't got some busybody going, are you looking for work? Well, what do you think? And then you have to prove it. It's like, oh, for Pete's sake. All right, so we've loaded it. Now, where are we taking this? He says, going to the head of the train. That's a real mixed consist, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, so, in essence, into reverse. Now, if I had the little steam train, like the little tank engine, I will probably do it in that, but I don't. There isn't. I couldn't see one around anyway. Right, head captain. 1/3. Generally speaking, though, I would say my mood has definitely improved over time. I still have my points where I think it was last week where I was feeling really depressed for a couple of days, and then it bounced back. I know some people I know I've had one or two people on stream saying, "Oh, why do you talk about mental health?" I said, and my answer to that is, it's a subject that needs to be talked about, particularly with those people, those who suffer from it. In terms of meeting anyone, and you know, I thought the same way, Wolf. I mean, I've got a date coming on Friday. Just have to wait and see. There's a guy that I know, and I think he's getting. I think he's in his late 50s now, either late 50s and early 60s. He's just met someone. He met someone about a year ago, and it's actually a friend of mine. And everything's great. So it's one of those things. Never say never. You could walk into a bar or a shop or a cafe, and the next thing you know, something clicks. Who knows? Certainly don't have a crystal ball in life. I felt the same way a while ago, actually. D3 outbound, that's got to go to now. So I'm using a remote dispatch to sort that out. As the sun sets. D3 outbounds. That's this track. Okay. Good stuff. You have two little ladies that love me very much and want to cuddle each night. That's good enough. Feels good enough for me. You're talking about your cats, aren't you? All right. If you're happy with that, that's fine. Come on, give it a bit more of a shove. As I mentioned to you, I would like to have a cat at some point in my life. I just can't afford to A, buy one, and B, keep one. Okay, that should be enough. So with this stream, I'm not sure exactly when we're ending, because in essence what we will do is we'll get the shunt jobs done, and then I'll be putting a train together. And once the train's put together, that's when the stream ends. At which point, the next stream, we'll run it. At least that's the plan. There we go. Let's get the brakes on. Right, let's get out there. There you go. Perfect. Right, and then let's run back. It would help if I took the brakes off. If you're thinking I'm walking over to the station, you got another thing coming. "8 years married and you're still good friends with your ex." I kind of know that feeling, considering I was in a 7-year relationship. Okay, it didn't result into marriage, but we did talk about it. And now she's married someone else. And as I said, I was a chauffeur at her wedding. Tough day that, but yeah, you know, at the end of the day, she's happy. That's the main thing. And we've still got a brilliant friendship. Great. Awesome. I'm definitely going to turn this DE2 and slug around at some point. Okay, independent on. And cut off. Okay, let's see how we did on time. A little bit of mist hanging around now. He says marching into the office. Oh, did it in 42 minutes. Nice. That'll do. Brilliant. Okay, let's see if we can clear some fees. 10 grand on the loco. What? I'm not going to service it because it takes too long. I'll do it automatically, thank you. And then there was a little bit of damage on one of the wagons. Oops. That was that down to that spicy shunt. Okay, it is 9 o'clock in the valley. All right. In that case, let's get in the bed. Oh. Sleep. So we're getting up at... Yeah, I'm glad you're a father. That's nice. I've never been a father. Yet. Although when I was talking to that young kid who's at school, he says, "You're too old to be a father, aren't you?" And I'm thinking, nah, you're never too old. The only thing is, don't expect me to chase after my future son or daughter, you know, trying to kick a football or anything like that. You must be joking. Okay, this one is fairly light. And it's, yeah, there's not a huge amount, so load and prepare. Okay. Now then. All right. So, we've got the job. If I head out... do I have... Right, where's my torch? Torch! Come here. Thank you. I like what the Colonel thinks. It's fine. This torch works. Look. Works fine. It's just the fact that it's solar powered. Although that used to be a joke back in the day. You've got a solar powered torch. Yeah, I know. Okay, lights front, lights rear, and start. Okay, it's a bit chilly in here. Just a minute. That's better. Okay, let's do that, although it's probably better to do that, actually. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse this train. Although, I do want to see... Where's the first pickup? Oh, it's C1S. Oh, that's quite nice. That's really nice, actually. If we have a look... let me just center this a little. Okay, so C1S. Right, where's the loco? There it is. Okay, so C's down here. Right. What's the job number? SL76. Okay. Let me have a look. Oh, it's all the way down there. Blimey, I must have punted it. At some point. But okay, we'll go down C1S. There's the two D6s I've got. Right, so let's set that point. Make sure this point is set as well. Perfect. So what we can do is back it up and then make sure it's reorientated in the correct direction. Brilliant. That'll do. In that case, let's go. Oh, don't tell me, game. The Gremlins have been at work again and you've put the handbrake on. Yes! I thought you had. You know, I'm curious, considering how things have progressed on the channel. I wonder how my style of presentation has developed. Or whether it's developed at all. You'll have to tell me. Oh, that was one thing about talking to someone who's in their teenage years. It does mean that old jokes are new. It's brilliant. So I could just pull things out of my library. Oh dear. It's great. It's getting worse. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Wolf. That's beautiful. I love you too. If it's getting worse, why do you tune in then? Do you just like to suffer? Is that what it is? Oh, there's the there's the D6s that I took into the harbour the other day. Oh, just to see how horrible it gets. Oh, thanks very much. Oh, bear that in mind when I fly, when I do eventually fly with you. I think it could be a lot worse. For me, this is just more, you know, this is kind of a more sort of fun and relaxed and a bit more chilled out. Whereas if I do other things like sim racing, or if I do other flight simulation where it's like A320 stuff, I think I take it a bit more seriously. Same with air traffic control to a certain degree. Although I gather you've managed to watch that, and thank you for the compliments on it when it was around. But no, the video's been deleted from the channel. I did download it, and the main reason I've downloaded it is to edit it and then send it off to a training director for them to take a look at it and go, yeah, these are the things you need to get better at. And I'll go, okay, fair enough. Although the training director was telling me that when he's dealt with other controllers that have returned after a long break, they open a really busy position, and then they're so arrogant to say, "Oh, well, I can control traffic. It's fine." Really? Even though you haven't done it for a few years, you may have retained perhaps about 80% of your knowledge, but even so. Oh, that was almost proper NASA levels of coupling. That was brilliant. That was awesome. Okay, so we need to come out of here. Oh, sorry. I should have changed the screen. Oh dear. Okay. Right, okay. But now we've done that, it should mean that my loco is orientated correctly. Hooray! And will be moving forward. That's even better. T-Bone, you do know the first sign of madness is talking to yourself. Is it? Oh. I'll be doing that for most of my life. And then you do know that the second sign of madness is when you find basically is when you have hairs on the palms of your hand. What? Hairs on the palm? Yeah. Hang on. And you do know that the third sign is when you're looking for them. Oh, you. Thanks. I think it was an old geography teacher that told me that one. No, it's something I've always done. Maybe it's because I was an only child. And just getting wrapped up in your own world when you're playing and that kind of stuff. Not as if you have a brother or sister to talk to. Although my mother once said to me, "Do you ever regret not having a brother or sister?" And I thought about it. I thought, well, that's really tricky. Because not having that experience, I don't know what it's like. But I'm happy with the childhood that I had. So, there you go. And then my mother ended up having a mental breakdown not long after I was born. And this is from postnatal depression. Good grief! I must have stressed her out when I was young, when I was a baby, and I've been doing it ever since. I can't believe it's coming up to 10 to 9 already, and we're on the second job. It's the one thing about doing shunting and yard work. I get a lot of jobs done over the same time. Okay, just watching the dispatch. Yeah, that's good enough. Start putting some brake on. Okay, where's the next one? The next one is G2S. Okay. So I'm going to keep that on. I'm going to keep that on screen. Make sure I switch back this time. Okay, G is going to be down here. There's 2S. Okay, job done. Excellent. All right, let's back it up. Oh, I'm still leaning. I think, hang on, that's a bit of a Dutch angle, isn't it? You're counting on it. The more nabbing, the better. What? What do you mean by nabbing? I haven't got a clue. Just going past the sea yard. This is also a very good education for people that are fairly new to Derail Valley and don't know the harbour. I'll be in the harbour pretty much all stream. I've got a pretty good idea of the layout. Okay, that's coming in a bit quick. But hey, what else is new? What's the job? Was it SL? Oh, great. Yeah, I've just looked at it. SL76 is at the back of everything. Hang on. I'm going to pick the other one up. It doesn't surprise me that I don't have a clue. Oh, thank you. I feel complimented and a little bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart with you saying that. It just goes to show how much of a friendship that we've actually gained between each other. It's true. That's the one thing about friends. They do. They take them absolute mickey out of each other. Oh. Yes. Don't mention it. Brakes. Now the other 76 job is onto the track to my right, but it's buried. So what I'm going to have to do is uncouple. So if I do, I think it's... Is it classed as -3? Oh, I'll do it. I don't know. I don't know which way it's doing it. Anyway. Oh! Grief, I'm running into doors now. What the heck's going on? Oh dear. Itchy nose. Darn it. You need to go to sleep. You have work tomorrow. Yeah, fair enough, Wolfgang. In that case, thanks for joining us and sleep well, and I hope your shift goes well, and I'll see you again soon. Meanwhile, Cuba, are you awake? No, he's fallen asleep. Bless him. I wonder where Rod's gone as well. I shall. You can catch up with it later. So things are going to be a little bit quieter for a while as Wolfgang has vacated the chat. I don't know where Cuba's gone. I assume he's gone to do something, and you know, we might be back a bit later. But if anyone else is on the stream and is lurking around, would like to have a chat to me, you're more than welcome to type a message. That's absolutely fine. Okay, into reverse, let's go. I wonder if it's just the 3, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. At least I don't forget to turn on my mix. Oh, for Pete's sake, I'm going the wrong way. Stop! Wolfgang's put, at least you didn't do what I did and forget to turn on my mix and sat there talking to myself for 2 hours. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. It's like, for example, I've just messed that up. Well, you know me. Ambitious, but wrong. Darn it, I thought I set the sidings correct. That's the whole point of this remote dispatch mod. No, I hadn't. Because I need to go through the through track. Oh, it was that one. Right, okay. Fine. It was the one just behind me. Okay. Good. Well, Wolfgang's probably left, but if he does catch this part of the stream, this is one of the reasons why, generally speaking, when it comes to live streaming, I'm at my desk about an hour before and I do all my checks. In fact, I've even got my alerts working. which is nice. So one of the things that happened recently, let me just go to this, is I did have a new subscriber. Ooh, I know. So Jonathan Malkin, welcome to the channel. Okay, this is tearing along at a fair clip. Probably need to think about braking around now. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it's 76 we're putting together. Okay, forwards it is. Right, I'll just get to the front of this and get it hooked up. Either somebody's walked over my grave or it's cold in here. I'm not sure which. Right. Yeah, I'll do it with the remote. Why not? Dunk. There we are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to have to answer a call of nature. So, if you bear with me, I shall be back in just 2 minutes. I know what you're thinking. Did you wash your hands? Well, what do you think? Honestly. Oh, good grief. I love my audience. I really do. All right, let's get on with it, shall we? Meanwhile, if you are enjoying what you're watching and you're new to the channel, welcome. It's good to see you. If you'd like to see more videos and live streams and things like that that are of a strategy and simulation nature, then consider subscribing to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. And if you do have any feedback, you're more than welcome to comment or like or dislike or whatever you want to do. So before the stream, I went downstairs and I was speaking to my mother, and she was watching a program on Netflix because recently I've renewed the subscription with it. Even though I have to admit, Netflix is a bit pricey these days, particularly when I got a 4K television. I think, good grief. But I thought, you know what? Why not? Because at the end of the day, I don't go out much anymore. And yes, that is a song reference. And also, what can I say? I'm a bit of a Star Trek person, and I like my next gen, and yeah. But she was watching something that had been advertised and trailered. So I think it's a Netflix movie where she gets married, she has a child, everything's going fine, and then her husband gets shot. So a friend of hers buys a hidden camera so she can keep an eye on her daughter when she goes to work. And the next thing you know, she has footage that shows her husband in the room with her daughter. So she's trying to figure out why on earth she saw it, and whether she was seeing things or whether he's faked his death and that kind of stuff. At least that's what I got from the trailer. So I said, well, you can continue watching that if you like. And she says, oh, no, I want to watch Derail Valley. I said, yeah, really? Oh, do you? Yeah. I enjoy it. Okay, fair enough. So I have a convert. She says he actually finds it quite funny. I'm trying to work out whether she's finding me funny or whether she's finding the antics in the game funny. I'm not going to complain. Okay, so that's got the ones from the G yard by looks of it once I've put this together. Could afford to slow it down a little. Not that much. Mind you, at that speed. Door! Da, 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 boom, boom. That was pretty nice. There we go. Perfecto. Okay, that's good. So if I check the job, is it all in G yard? G2, G1, go to D7. Yeah, it is. Aha. Good-o. So all I need to do now is just run round. Perfecto. That was not my vague way of trying to speak Chinese or Japanese before you even start. Oh dear. So apart from Friday, what are your plans, T-Bone? Probably going to do more racing. Probably going to do more flying. Probably going to do more controlling. And then try and figure out, is there any of that that's worth filming and recording and editing and that kind of stuff? That's the general idea. There's the one thing I definitely need for Assetto Corsa, better leaderboard. Because the one built into the game, it's rubbish. When you're trying to do the, when you go for the replay, I haven't got a clue what's going on. Okay, so if I do that and then run through the centre track, I can run round the load, which is always a good thing. At least it's not as icy cold as it has been. Good grief, you know, with some of the temperatures around -6. Mind you, I've been talking to D, and of course he lives in Edmonton. As far as he's concerned, -6 is t-shirt and shorts weather. He was saying he went to Honolulu at one point, and it was 10 degrees C, and everyone's out in sort of jumpers and coats and that kind of stuff, and he's going around in t-shirt and shorts, and everyone's looking at him as if to say, what on earth's going on? And when he says, I'm Canadian, he goes, oh, right. Although apparently he was really winding them up about certain things to do with Canada. Yeah, that they live in an igloo and that kind of thing. I thought, good on you, mate. In terms of what we do together, where we collaborate, maybe. I think there are possibilities of doing some collaboration, albeit that it seems a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, a lot of the stuff that he's doing, we're sort of covering very different things when it comes to games. And that's all well and good. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, variety is the spice of life, as it were. But we are talking about potentially doing maybe a little bit more Satisfactory together. And we're currently talking about Railroader, which is another train game. Albeit it feels like running a massive train set. It doesn't have the level of simulation like this does. And it does have a little bit of story. The progression system's different. The way that this game progresses is mainly through licenses. And I've got about 3 left to get. But I have to save up so much money to do that. And then once I've done that, I've then got to do some runs, get up to about 1 million, and then once I've done that, I think I've been in the valley long enough. Unless there's a major update, or there's possibilities of multiplayer or something different, then I'll probably leave it for a while. Or I might potentially do a custom playthrough, so have a lot of the simulation settings on. I think that would be quite nice. A little slower. There we go. Okay, that's nicely coupled. Right, let's get out of here then. And over to the loading yard. So loading is either done at the C section or the D section. Depends what stuff you're loading. Oh, don't know why I did that. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to change view while that's trundling away, so you can see what I'm doing. So we know that it's going to come up to this point. Well, we'll leave that, but we know it needs to go to the loading yard. So I'm going to turn that point and make sure it's going into the loading yard. It is. Perfect. So the only other point I've got to think about is that one. Couldn't do a stream without tea or Diet Cola or something like that. Not a chance. No way. Okay, so we're going to need a hoofer doofer for this. Donk. Oh, is it that one? Ah! I've missed it. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's gone wrong. Oh, dear. That's gone horribly wrong. Oops. Oops. Oh dear. Yeah. That's not quite gone according to plan. T-Bone, you're an idiot. Yeah, I know. How are you going to fix this then? I'll think of something. I'm going to have to re-rail, aren't I? Yes, you're going to have to re-rail. Well, that's actually on the rails. This isn't. Okay, hang on. The problem you got now is this one is not in the right place. It's on the rail, but it's... Oh, for goodness sake. It's kind of moving. Just, you know, kind of push. Oh, that'd be good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Is that working? You know, I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Damn it. And it's now fouling the junction. Oh, for Pete's sake. Really? Can I not re-rail this now? No, won't let me. That's a problem. Yeah, it is a problem. How are you going to solve it? Oh, I don't know. Well, that's not a solution. I know it's not a solution. Just let me think about it, all right? Okay, so we can couple this one to that one. Yes. Then what are you going to do? Oh, great. It's raining as well. You know what I'm going to do? Cheat. I'm sorry. 19. Hopefully, that's before I did what I did. Let's have a look. Fingers crossed. At which point I will refresh the dispatcher as well. No. No is the simple answer. And that's fouling the junction. Do I have another loco? Up here, another choo-choo. Let me have a look, shall we? If I have a look at remote dispatch, can I rescue this situation? Let's have a look. We do not have a loco in this yard. Neither do I have one in this yard. We don't have one in that yard either. Oh dear. In that case, the only thing we can do is go back about 10 minutes. No, not you save, you idiots. This one. Load. Okay. So I've lost about 10 minutes progress. Oh, no. Oh, I was just putting this job to the... Okay, that's fine. All right, okay, I know where I am. That's a good start. And then I need to do the run round. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Perfect. Door. There we are. Okay, at which point run round. And that was trying to use the hoofer doofer. Yeah, that worked out really, really well. It's amazing what you get used to. Okay, that's fine. Whoa, hang on. Lily cooked the traction motors there. I need to bring it to a stop. Come on. Behave. There we go. Yeah, let's get this thing moving. Right, I think the plan's going to be that we'll get this job finished and then we'll take a break. does. If you listen to the... I swear it plays tunes, this train. I suppose technically taking it is a train, considering it's got a slug behind it. It's not just an individual loco at this point. Of course, if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. And personally, I don't mind you doing that. That's absolutely fine. Oh, that could be spicy. Hang on. Dump the air. Dump the air. Stop. Whew. For a minute. That was coming in way too quickly. That's better. T-Bone? Yes? Are you going to crash again? Look, I'm not aiming to, okay? You'll just have to trust me. Okay, that's good. Oh yeah, lights. I haven't actually switched those on, have I? No. And you're still leaning? Yes. Oh, sit down this time. So we need to go to D7 loading. Okay, brakes on, here we go. Change the correct point this time. Even though you didn't see that. But trust me, I have. Definitely. Come on, slow down. Thank you. Good grief. How long does it take you? Okay. There you go. Oh, these, yeah, let's make sure that's set for loading yard, and it is. All right, stand up. Sounds a bit more muted. Okay, it's scooting in nicely. So tonight is the big shunt. I'd imagine the next episode is going to be the big haul. Would make sense. Am I seeing showers? Maybe. Oh, there's the switch. That'll do. Alright, door! Pick up a bit of a tradition on this channel. Alright, that's loaded. Okay, where are we taking this then? E1 outbound. Okay. That's fine. So let's get that set up. There. Yeah. Oh, it's already done. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Look at me switching between screens. Brakes off. Here we go. Do you need any wipers? Maybe just a touch. It's a nice thing having a slug behind it because it distributes traction nice and evenly. It's I'm less likely to have any wheel slip. I can have wheel slide. That's possible. Okay, that can come to a nice stop. Alright, E1 outbound. Okay, let's take a look at that. Do that. Okay, that is on this track here. So all the way over to the left-hand side. And there's another job there as well. Wow. Okay. That's going to be fun. All right, then. Let's go. Brakes off. Okay, no spicy dunking. If you can, if you can. All right, let's see now. I think I might want to brake a little bit. That should be all right. Perfect. Right, let's get up. Let's get up and go then. Right, door. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's head back to the pad. Let's put my teeth back in. Let's head back to the station. Bit faster. This feels more like a proper perspective. Okay, that'll do. Perfect. Okay, let's hand the job in. Let's get over the other side of the fence. Okay. Let's see how we've done with this one. Oh, we got it done in time. Nice. Thank you. All right, any more fees? Oh, for Pete's sake. Really? 19 grand for copay. Okay, fine. In that case, here we go. Are you serious? Wow. I'm going to be broke at this point. Okay, well, we've got some time in the valley. Let's see. Next one. Unload and store train with methane. Okay, that's the next one that we're going to be doing. 378 tons this time. So we can actually do this with a single DE2. Fantastic. So what we can do is we can actually put this one into a siding and use the other DE2, which we will do, but with the time just after 20 to 10. I think it is definitely time for a break. I need to fix a problem with my mug. It doesn't have any tea in it. So by all means, go and grab your tea, go and grab your biscuits or whatever else you want to have. And I shall see you very soon. But until then, whatever you do, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. And welcome back to the second half. And it's good to see that Cuba's back. Yes, welcome, be right back screen. And yes, I know there's an issue to do with this, the green screen. Let me try and sort that out while I'm thinking about it. It started recently and I don't know why. Okay, it isn't that, it's filters. Just give me a minute. Chrome key. It's just that corner. I think what I need to do is get a more powerful light on the other side, or possibly light the green screen. I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, let me see what I can do with the filter. Oh, my hair's going now. Let's try and smooth it out and see if that works. Oh, I'm turning into a ghost. Hang on. I'm afraid you're just going to have to tolerate it. Sorry, guys. I have no idea why that's happening. Okay, let's get back into the game. Meanwhile, welcome back. Okay, so the next job we're going to do is Orwell Central. Is this job. So we're doing a lot of shunts today in order to put a big train together. That's the main reason we're doing this. Okay, so this is the next job. Now, it's 378 tons, so what that means is I don't have to use a slug for this one, so I'll take it. It's about 3 in the afternoon Valley time now. Okay, so I just parked my D2 and slug over here, I think. Yeah, yes I did. Okay, so we're going to put those in the siding. Okay, let's get this started. So in essence, what I'm trying to do is basically use the right tool for the job. Oh, come on, start, will you? Thank you. And it all depends upon the tonnage. All right. Okay, let's get this backed up and put away. That's the first job. Oh, yes, of course. I don't know why the game does that, but it does. Oh, I'm sorry. The door was open, Cuba. What are you talking about? I didn't open it. It's not as if I walked through a piece of glass. But yes, don't worry. I've been calling door a lot, actually. It's just you've not been around, have you? It is a mouse cursor. Yes, you can change. You can actually change to mouse mode. That is possible. In fact, you can even drive with it. But also it helps when I'm going to the dispatch screen, which I've been sharing quite a bit this tonight. Okay, so we need to get this backed up, and then what I will do is I'll get the other D2 out that doesn't have a slug. So I hope Cuba's okay. I hope you've had a good week. I think I've told people what my adventures have been, what my antics and adventures have been. Certainly while Wolfgang was around. I don't know where you went. It's almost as if he disappeared for a while. Okay, so Cuba was boarding satisfactory and may or may not have made a uranium tractor. which can kill you within 3 seconds, which goes around my base. Why would you do that? Huh? Seriously, you're messing around with explosives, radiation. Goodness sake. Oh my god, 20, wow. Okay, you've played a lot of Satisfactory to get to that point. Yeah, I suppose that's one way of putting it. If you find it fun, then, you know, knock yourself out. As I said earlier, Satisfactory may potentially make a return to... You're still on tier 4? Good lord. What did you do? Find a uranium node? I assume so, which I think most of them are in caves and got a lot of spiders and the. I'm thinking about returning to Satisfactory at some point, and it's something I've talked to Dee about. Albeit, I'm at the stage where I'm thinking of doing a pretty sizable build, and it's whether you want to see that brick by brick on a live stream. Or whether I start a new playthrough and then turn it into a video series. I am tempted to do the latter. It has to be said. Okay, dump the air. There we go. Perfect. You had a salt node as a non-pure node. I think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean when it comes to that. All right, that's done. Right, door. All right, let's get into the other D2 now. Of course, it would help if you switch it on, T-Bone. Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay, brakes off, handbrake off. Nice to know you got into Satisfactory though, that's cool. I think I know roughly where you mean. Approximately, because mine's... Well, you've built it on a lake, okay. Because mine's on the... As you know, mine's on the coast. Which I found was a... so far I'm finding is a really good place to build. Okay. Let's bring the Independent on and take a look where the job is. Okay, so I've got to go to E8 inbound. So one of the first things I'm going to do, so I'm going to show people, is get this train turned around. So just doing a bit of, I'm just changing points. So I want to back up here and then I want to go this way. Perfect. I know, how good is this? So let's get this D2 the right way around. But also, we're going to pair it. Yes, there are radioactive creatures in Satisfactory. You're absolutely right. A radioactive cat. Oh, that's because you've got arachnophobia mode on. Can be quite amusing, but I turned it off in the end. Happy 100 videos. Thank you, Cuba. Yeah, that is quite a landmark. 229 subscribers now. But I was saying earlier, I'm treating it more as a hobby now. And one of the things I've decided to do is stream less and potentially make more videos. But I'm looking to see what videos I'm going to make. Okay, so we are going to E8I. That's way quicker than it would be with a slug. Has to be said. Okay, E8I. I'll just make a quick note of that. We're going to need some lights, I think. Alright then. So, E8I. So what we need to do is we need to do that one. I'll do that one. This one. And then make sure we're going to 8. 8 here. Yeah, in Satisfactory I did hear about this king crab creature, potentially. I don't know about it though, and whether they're going to implement it or not. It all depends on whether they think it fits in with the game. I suppose. Now, for those of you who wonder why I pick up the remote control when I'm going backwards, it just allows me to have a speedometer in kilometers per hour, which then I actually convert to miles per hour in my head. Agreed, Cuba. Jetpacks are fun in Satisfactory. It's great. Oh. Note to self, remember to change screen. Let's slow this down a bit. Come on. More than that. Especially considering what I'm backing into. Yes, if you build a hypertube cannon on Satisfactory, the amount of acceleration is incredible. Okay, so where are we going now? We are going to unload at C3. So that's pressurizing at the moment. Okay, so that means going forward. believe it or not, because we're doing a lot of shunting, this is the third job of the night. I know! Because in essence, I'm doing all of the shunting jobs in the harbour. And then after that, I'm looking to put the train together. But at this rate, I think I'll probably just... I don't know how many more shunting jobs I'll be able to fit in the stream. This could end up as a part 2. Although, I don't know if you've managed to catch Wolfgang's series of Satisfactory. It's really good. I think it's done a really good job with it. Right, so you found a Cybertruck Easter egg. When I put the ticket in my garbage disposal, which leads to a sink. What? Okay, I didn't realise there was Easter eggs in the game. But, fair enough. I thought I had the lights on. Hang on. What's going on here? That's better. So now what I'm waiting for is the back of the train to go past the point. As you can see. 20 tickets to unlock. Okay. I think I know the one you're talking about. It's like the buggy, isn't it? There it is. So apply brakes. And then we need to make sure the points are set to go to the unloading yard. Which they are now. That's perfect. I know it's not the factory car, but there's like an all-terrain buggy. I think. I don't know whether you need to unlock that with tickets. I'm not sure. Can't remember. It's been a while since I've played. Ooh, that's cooking the traction. That's getting the amps up and cooking the traction motors a little bit. It's quite a load for this little loco. But 400 tons is definitely within its remit. Okay. Oh, it's to do with quartz. Okay, fair enough, Cuba. Now, I'd imagine if we're offloading methane, because it's a gas, I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference to the weight of the train. Somehow. That woke somebody up. Although, speaking of waking somebody up, my mother, bless her, I swear she has a vendetta against alarm clocks. She seems to go through them once out of every 2 to 3 months. I'm not joking. Because what happens is, she sets the alarm on the clock, and then when the alarm goes off, it's going, basically it's ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing, and the poor thing's ringing away. And she's just in such a deep sleep, she doesn't wake up. In fact, there have been times where the alarm, you know, because sometimes the alarm clocks on the feet are not quite right. There have been times where it's literally sort of been vibrating on the table, and next thing you know, bang, it goes off the side. I've lost count at the amount of alarm clocks that have suffered at the hands of my mother. To the point where I think it's first degree clockicide. I really do. So she's broken another one. And she says to me, she tells me last night, I'm thinking, well, that's kind of a you problem. I was kind of playing her up a little bit. But anyway, I said, okay, no problem. I'll give you a call in the morning. Oh, unload. Sorry. Yeah, unload. Thank you. I'll give you a call in the morning. And I said, when do you want to be called up? She said, 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay. So about 10 to 8, I called the landline. No response. 5 to. No response. 8 o'clock. No response. 5 past 8. No response. 10 past 8. I hear a hello from the next door room. I think, okay, fine. She's going to wake up. She woke up at 9. Was it worth trying? So I don't know what we're going to do for an alarm clock when it comes to my mother. Maybe a bucket of water? I haven't got a clue. Anyway, okay, so that's offloaded. Where are we going to next? We are going to G7S, and it's 096 to 805. 096 096 to 805. Okay, which part of the train is that? He says. It's not that part. In fact, let's have a look. 096 to 805. Is it the back of the train? Hang on. Let's have a look. There's 096. Perfect. That's worked out really well. Good. Okay, let's go. Let's get going then. Yeah, I'll do that with the rear lights, I think. But not helping too much considering what I've got behind me. And forwards, and here we go. Alright, sit down. Otherwise, what else has happened in between in the last 2 weeks. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I went to a friend's house. She was having a house party. Open house, everything else. In fact, I sent her a message and I said, when's this house party starting? She says it's already started. And when I found out she started this house party at 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So I turned up about 7:30 at night. And there was various games going on. There was kind of like a Guess Who game. There was also a Nintendo Wii. We played a bit of Wii Sports. I won the bowling. I lost the boxing. Then later on there was some poker. And I was teaching her sister how to play poker. But by then they'd had let's say they'd just had a few cocktails. You know. And I stayed overnight. And the next morning, oh my goodness. My friend was definitely... She was definitely worse for wear. Bless her. But it was certainly a fun night. That's putting it mildly. Yeah, it was a good time. I felt fine the next morning. I was okay. Okay. I don't need to do that, do I? No, I don't. No. It's alright, I was going to change the points. I don't need to do it because I've got remote dispatch, you idiot. Okay, so we are going from G7S. No, we're going to G7S, aren't we? Okay, so... Screen. Okay, so G7S. Okay, so we need to change this point. That one. This one. And then G7 is all the way to the right. That way. Perfect. Some people may see this as cheating. Well, that's up to you. I mean, the thing is, it's a single player game. Surely you can surely you can play it how you wish. I mean, if it's multiplayer, fair enough. But it isn't. Not yet, anyway. I don't know whether it ever will be. It would be nice if it was. Oh, dear me. Squeeze me. If you know that, if you know what that is as a film reference, I'm impressed. Right, good shove required. Yeah, coming back nicely. Okay, coming in nicely. Do need to perhaps slow it down a little bit. Oh, fantastic, Cooper. So once you unlock nuclear in Satisfactory, you're going to fill the tracks with plutonium waste. You would. Yeah, but surely with the plutonium, you can just put it through the sink and get tickets for it. At which point it's gone. I thought that was one of the points of it. Okay, a little bit more. That should do. All right, stand up. Okay, well, look, doors open. Okay, so we are looking for 805. There it is. So most of it. There we go. It would help if I walked the right way, wouldn't it? Okay, what's the next bit? Okay, so the next part needs to go into D1 siding. Yeah, I know. You can make you can use uranium in the reactors, which then you can turn into plutonium, and then once it's turned into plutonium, you can potentially put it back in the reactor, or you can sink it. That's the other option. Oh my goodness. I need sunglasses. It's that bright at the moment. So we're doing basically tonight is a ton of yard work. Plutonium waste is fun. If you say so. I think you can get a hazmat suit by the time you get to there, though. Okay, right, brakes on. Okay, D1 siding is what we require. Okay, so we need to do this point, and then D1 siding. Right, so Cuba says whenever I'm going to invite someone to the world, they're going to try to check what the tractor is doing, and then they're going to realise they're irradiated past survival. Oh, you're so kind. I'm sure they'll love you for that. Good grief. Okay. Anyway, point's done. Point's done. Let's go. Now then. Brakes off. I know you can't see much. Don't worry, we'll fix it. Is this the last drop-off? Yeah, it is. At which point, that's job number 3 done. We might actually get 4 jobs done in a stream. Way! So you have an instant death tractor. Ah, oh, well done. Right, so I need to give these a bit of a shove. Perfect. All right then. Let's get going. Door! How does getting people into a world even work? You... Basically, you can invite somebody. Have you got the game on... Did you get the game on Steam or Epic? I think inviting somebody on Steam is a little bit easier. But you have a... almost like a code that you have to share with the other person, from what I remember. And it's been a while since I've done multiplayer. Steam, okay. You might be able to potentially just invite them through Steam, but otherwise, as I said, there's a code involved that you have to share. I think officially it supports up to 4 people. Okay, let's go back to the station and hand the job in. And then see what else we need to do. Getting a bit of fun trail there. Yes, you could potentially confuse me and Wolfgang in a weird factory. That is possible. That is perfectly possible. Well, we've got fuel. We're fine. Okay, let's see. And then if you get D involved, oh my goodness. 4 of us doing a 4 of us on a Satisfactory stream. Okay, so there's another shunt job. Done. Oh, hold on. Handbrake on G7S. Please hold. So I need to go over to G yard, which is this way. tell you something, the more stuff I do in the harbour, the more I'm familiar with it. Don't look at the conveyors from the miners to the factory. Oh my goodness. I can think, yeah, I've got a feeling how it's going to be. It's just going to be a mess. Perhaps you should do a video series on your channel, and we can take a look at it. That'd be the best way to do it. Anyway. Perfect. There you go. Another 15,000. Thank you. Chuck that away. Okay, next shunt. How many shunts are here? Flipping heck. Right, so this is 85 tons. Oh, that's fairly straightforward. 3 grand. Wow. Okay, I'll accept that order. Right, where are we going this time? G5. Okay, well, that's quite handy. Considering where my little loco is. So to go to G5, I need to do this. G5 is there. And that should do it. Perfect. This is the other thing. It helps speed up the jobs. So in terms of getting the bonuses, I think it's really good for that. Darn it. I should have gone to bed. Oh, well. Night job it is then. All right, start. Come on. No, don't do that. Behave. Thank you. Right. I wasn't born in the barn. Okay. Brakes off. Reverse. And I'll probably... Yeah, it's worth checking the handbrake. Horse stream, you could. It might be worth doing a test stream first on which is unlisted, just to check it. And see how the stream goes. I think I'm at job number 4 now. Now you may ask me, why am I doing unloading jobs? Well, they can turn into logistics halls. That's why. Perfect. Couple. Okay, where are we taking this one? We are going to D7 load. Okay, let's get it for. Let's get moving then. As soon as the brakes have pressurized. That's pulling a fair amount of amps as we get set off. It's a bit misty overnight. And cut off. Oh, hang on. Zoom in. Oh, that was close. That could have been a disaster. If I hadn't changed that point. Okay, there's only a couple of points to change. That one and that one. Okay. Right, brakes are off. Let's go. So there's a mob called Call of the Void. That sounds interesting. I wonder what it adds. Call of the Void. Let me just write that down. Yep, I'll have a look at that at some point. See what it does. Oh, good grief! So the Leviathans can potentially destroy your base. Wow. Planned mechanical Leviathans as well. My word. Oh. Been made by a YouTuber called ACI, and so far it looks really legitimate. Cool. Sounds good. Just deciding what to eat after the stream. Maybe a bacon and egg sandwich. Perhaps. I'm going through a bit of a phase with those. I don't know why. Either that or I might order something in and treat myself. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Perhaps some prairie chicken. Maybe. Okay, that's far enough, I think. Let's get the brakes on. Okay. Oh! So apparently we need to unload. Okay, 288 to 582. Well, let's have a look, shall we? There's 582. Three, 339. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Is that it then? Yeah, it is. So we just need to offload those to G1S. That's fine. Ah, right. Okay. So Subnautica wasn't really designed for a massive map. Okay. So there's limitations to the way the game was built. Understood. Although the main games I'm playing at the moment, apart from this, would be, well, the main things I'm doing is Assessor Corsa, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm also doing virtual air traffic control. Those are the three things I'm doing at the moment. Although I'm thinking of maybe doing a Let's Play at some point. And no, it's not Subnautica. If I was going to do Subnautica, it would be a live stream, I think. You never know, I might queue it up after this. Well, after Derail Valley's done. I'm basically scared the living daylights out of me when I've got these big creatures coming at me and it's just it's just me sort of 200 feet underwater, swimming for my life. And everyone's going, ah, 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 look at him. Ah. Thanks. You're such a generous bunch, aren't you? It's just fish. Oh, yeah. Have you seen the size of some of these fish? I don't mind the equivalent of like the whales in the game. And I'm not talking about the people that goes, oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Collective groans in the audience. Okay, G1S is what we need. 250 meters in length. That's long enough. That's about 750, 800 feet. No, thank you. I am definitely running in the opposite direction. Oh, swimming in the opposite direction, I should say. Okay, so we're going to G1S. Right, okay, so. Here we go. There. Here. Up to G1S. Yeah, that's done. Perfect. Okay, into reverse. Don't tell me we're going to end up doing 5 jobs this stream. Oh, that'd be amazing. How are we doing? Fine. Absolutely fine. Just checking the levels. Okay, just hanging out of the window at the moment. As you do. Okay, just dump me out. Perfect. Alright, let's get out of here. Door's already open, so cool. Tire brake on. I wonder whether I'm actually uncoupling correctly, because I know that's something that Wolfgang complains about. Soon find out, I suppose. There you go. I think I am. Right, back up. Right, job done. Okay, let's hurry back to the station. Lots of brake. And cut off, and off we go. Right, let's get this one in. "14 minutes, we needed to do it in 15. Hey! Brilliant. Cool. Right, next up. Another 14-minute job. Oh, all right. Unload and store a train with cat food. Well, I'm sure Wolfgang's cats will be very appreciative of this one. All right, 14 minutes. Well, let's go then. Let's go. Okay, it's on C2I. Okay, C2I. Let me just have a look quickly from where we are, which is there. C2I. I want to back it up anyway, so I'm just going to set the screen here. So when I get to this point, you'll see my little hand cursor. Then I can reverse the train. Perfect. It's almost like doing briefings for Flight Sim. It's cool. Right. Let's sit down at the controls. Brakes off, and here we go. Brakes on. C2I. Okay, so. Oh. There we are. Thank you. Ah, is it 97? It is 97. That's interesting, because it's actually got D6s ahead of it. That's going to be interesting. Will it pull D6s without them being started? That's the question. Well, there's only one way to find out, I suppose. Yeah, I've seen that about some sort of YouTubers that have been going for years now, and in essence, they're kind of retiring. MatPat was one. What was it? Tom Scott was another. Yeah, I've seen that. Mind you, I think with MatPat, it's more a case that he's built an empire of different channels, all under the sort of Theory brand. And I do think sometimes when you do things for a certain length in time in life, you decide, you know what, I want to do something else. And in many respects, I know I was let go for medical grounds and everything else from my previous employer, but it has given me the time not only to adequately recover from everything that's happened to me over the past few years, but it's also given me time to pause and reflect and decide what I want to do next. So yeah, it's just it is one of those things. And yes, for people that watch their videos and everything else, of course it's going to be a disappointment to them. The only thing you can do is wish them all the best in the future. And even with some people, even with YouTubers that still keep going, some people are disappointed when a certain series ends, and they want you to keep making the same material. Like, for example, with me, I know that at some point, bang, that was a very affirmative bang. I know at some point this series will come to an end, and some people will go, "Ah, aren't you going to do more?" I can, but what will happen is I'll probably do it when there's something worth doing with it. Oh, we're pulling it. Ah. We're only pulling the... Yeah, we're pulling the D6s out of the way. That's fine. I don't mind that. We could put those on C1S for now. But yes, it's an end of an era. It's, for example, one of the YouTubers I remember watching. In fact, one of the first YouTubers, this is back in the day, that I used to watch was Total Biscuit. I used to watch his videos a lot, and then unfortunately he was diagnosed with cancer, and we know the rest. Despite receiving treatment and chemo and everything else, he died from it, and I think he was in his 30s, and it came as quite a shock. It really did to the people that knew him, and I think it came to quite a shock to all those people that watched his videos. And I know that's a different set of circumstances, but again, it's an end of an era. And you do get certain people in YouTube. They have their time in the limelight as well. You can have certain YouTubers that definitely, for whatever reason, do really well, and their channels grow and everything else, and they peak at a certain level, and then for whatever reason they start falling back. Occasionally it can be down to stagnation, or it can be down to other things. Potentially it could be down to what that particular person has done. There's all sorts of reasons. And yet there's other channels that just keep going, like Angry Joe Show, for example. Although when you look at Joe's early videos and you look at him now, my goodness, he's put on weight. Wow. I mean, I know I've put on 4 pounds after Christmas, over Christmas, but I am determined to get rid of it. In fact, sim racing is definitely a workout. I think that would probably help. I am not joking either. Apparently you burn something between 150 to 250 calories every 30 minutes you do sim racing. All right, that should do it. Brakes on. Okay, and uncouple. Thank you. Go forwards. Now. Okay, let's sit back down. The other thing that tends to happen with certain YouTube channels is they seem to fall out of the spotlight and they seem to fall out of relevance. For example, one of them that the other ones I watched a little bit was again down to Total Biscuit. I used to watch Jesse Cox and Dodger, which is Press Heart to Continue. But slowly those channels have fallen a little bit more out of relevance. It's just one of those things. Okay, let's pick up this job now. Oh yeah, this was the job I brought in the other week, wasn't it? Yeah. It's one of the things I do like about Derail Valley is the sort of the persistence in the world. That if you bring in a job, say, into the harbour, that there's then another job that follows from it. Like, for example, offloading the train. Offloading all the wagons. And then you can end up with a logistical haul taking those wagons back to where they came from or to a different part of the map. Ooh, that could get spicy. A little bit. Just a touch. Okay, where are we taking this one? Probably to D yard. To offload. Yep. Yeah, that's fairly predictable. Okay, so what do we need to do here? We need to... Yeah, we need to come back round. When the back of the train comes here, then we need to change the points ready. Okay, good. I hope you're enjoying the remote dispatch, and I hope that adds more to it. And particularly now I'm actually sharing that with you. Also, it gives you some idea of what I'm thinking. When it comes to playing the game, I mean. Feels like a fair amount of tonnage behind me. How? What's the weight? It's only 245, but you could have fooled me. Okay, so with the train now stopped in the correct position. Well, okay, Kuba. Well, it's been good to see you. And hope to see you on the next one. But until then, well, have a good week. Okay, let's see now. We are going D7 now. D7 loading is this and that. That's perfect. Oh, hold on. Did you release the brakes? No, is the simple answer. Try again. Yeah, give it a good shove. I'm talking about the train. Get it out of your mind. Stop it. What on earth did you think I was talking about? Hmm? Well, at least the sun's coming up. That's nice. Okay. Coming in nicely. Certainly a lot more organised than some of the landings I've done recently. Okay, brakes on. All right then, let's go. Door. Okay, offload this one. There you go. That'll keep Wolfgang's cats nicely fed. Sunrise happening in the morning. Okay, I am going to quickly take a screenshot of that. Brilliant. There we go. And that's probably for the thumbnail next week. Right, done. Okay, that should be a lot easier to deal with. Now, where are we taking this? Back to C1. Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Okay, so again, I need to shift the... Oh, goodness me. I need to shift the D6s out of the way. Well, this is going well, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do then is... Okay, stop this train here. Right, I'm going to run across. Get the D6s. And put them in the siding. Right then, chaps. Let's get you two sorted out. I only need to start the one. Okay, let me just check the box. Traction motor's on. Oh, should that be up? I think so. Soon find out. Okay, door. Oh. There you go. Big engine this time. Right. Okay, center on player. Yes. Okay. Right, let's get this out into the siding. So who would have thought a little bit of DE6 today? I'll need to get them out of the way, it's fine. Alright, let's back it up. So it sells way more power in these locos, it's incredible. Okay, that's nice. Lots of brake. Good. At which point, forwards we go. And I'll just get this into the siding now. That'll do nicely. Thank you very much. Door. Great. Perfect. Right, let's get this one backed in now. Right, so it was C1S, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, so plan. There, yes. Yeah, we're going to back it in. Okay. Good stuff. Alright, let's get this brake off. I do wonder whether I should actually play this triple screen when I'm streaming, but I'd have to figure out how to get the chat overlaid so I could see it while I'm doing it. Okay, good stuff. C1S, righto. Yeah, that's correct. All aligned nicely. G'do. Let's get this reversed then.